But I think he's going to play something that's stronger, and will probably opt into the Renata.
Or the Thresh, just because you can. He's just having a giggle. It should just be Renata. There it is.
Because Renata is so incredibly strong into... Like, you could basically guarantee that her ult is going to stop the advance of B&K in any scenario. It's not a traditional dive comp. It's not like a Vi, hyper dive. It's not an Ari comp that wants to dive super hard, but it does require a lot of setup for this Misfortune. You could just ruin that instantly, or just make the Misfortune really mad. So it's a very safe pick here. My biggest concern here for T1 is how FAKER has had some rough laning phases, with Vikla also looking really on point these days. And Doran are going to do in the lane, because Doran, we have seen Gwen win this matchup.
Where their draft is sitting, and they only need to win this game, and they've taken another series this week. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. And we are onto the Rift without there being a pause. Look at that.
Solid.
Not too bad. Better start than last time. As Diablo's skipping around here. As T1 already moving aggressively into the enemy jungle. You can see FAKER going to meet up with his bottom lane here.
And so that's why I'm a little sad about this draft.
Oh,
Raptor does not know. He's not a knower.
He is not a knower indeed. He immediately flashes, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to get him to safety as he really wants to get on that blast cone, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be the flash from Ona that locks that one down, and they'll start off with a red buff. T1 playing dirty at the start of game.
Unfortunately for Raptor, there's just simply nothing he can do about it. CORKI having cryo in mid. Doran playing this matchup so far pretty well, looks like. We didn't watch how all the intricacies did happen, but maybe
level 3, and Doran is just going to get flashed on and murdered.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Chronicler. Master's are real.
No, don't say sorry to Chronicler, because he doesn't even believe it.
Point, because we've talked about this a little bit. We've kind of skirted around it as FAKER is pushed away here, only level 5. I think you could have just dropped the Kalista ban in this situation, as FAKER is in trouble.
Oh, if that Q had landed there by Vikla, then FAKER could just be dead right now.
FAKER does not have TP.
Kellen discovered as the rest of his team around. Nice little sidestep on the Winter's Wrath as Raptor grabs 2 of the grubs pretty quickly. And with that smite now on cooldown, he's just going to back away and let Ona have 1 of them.
Yep. So better than they were doing in terms of grubs last game.
Yep.
I just want to see how my friends are doing.
That's why I removed that app. Oh, God.
Looks like T1 are going to get this dragon. Oh, man, it's worse than the Italian memes.
Oh,
that Chronicler keeps showing us for some reason.
As Raptor is unable to get the rash. Smash is in trouble. Some more autos coming through here from Diablo. He's going to need another one, but the bailout comes in. The handshake's down, but Diablo doesn't die. The flashing it out of the crash down here is Diablo makes it rain, and Carrier needs to try and find him in the fog of war. Diablo, can you get out of here? Because there's another crash down, and the bullet time comes in. The stun comes through as well, and Carrier will be able to get out. That's a beautiful U-turn done here as To The Skies goes clear, and Ona has to avoid the impale. B&K outplaying T1 all over the map.
Everywhere. Look at the gold lead.
Except for Vikla, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still got a gold lead because he's got kill pressure even if he didn't kill him. It's a small gold lead, but
moving into the next stage of the game. Also evening things out when it comes to the objectives as well, as T1 able to take the first dragon of the game.
I just don't see any contest here. As Oner's going to the bottom side of the map, try to look for a punish here. This is risky.
Yeah, as there's the bullet time just to try and clear out the wave. That's a great ulti from Ona, though, as the handshake comes in. Kellen trying to keep them at bay as Smash is in trouble. And that last auto, not quite enough. Oh my God, how did that work? The immediate bailout is going to save him, but Diablo finding that double up angle was absurd.
That should not have happened, but Carrier was on it, man. Carrier saw it. You and I thought maybe it could happen. And Diablo was like, I'm going to look for it. Carrier was like, I am ready to press the button. Yeah. He pressed it so fast.
Meanwhile, here on the top side of the map, I don't think Ascana really cares about whether Gwen is immune or not. Just going to poop her away from the turret. And Doran, no needlework's going to save you from that. So more plates going over to clear here towards the top side.
More of my strategy.
Yeah.
But the capture the Gwen strategy seems like it's pretty good for the Skarner in these scenarios. Working out for him 100% of the time. As Doran is 2 levels down, and I was afraid of this. You were afraid of this. We were afraid of playing Gwen into Jace, and they left the Jace up. And like they could have just dropped the Kalista ban, I think.
Doran has been able to sort of weather the storm in these matchups in the past. This is not weathering the storm.
No.
This is the storm, like, destroying your house
No.
and you not being in there when it goes to the Wizard of Oz.
He's even denying more farm here. He will get the turret after this. T1 grab another objective as
Whoa, that's a flash in. Killen's going to come on over. He's not really helping out with damage, but there is Vikla in the area. That's a Glacial Prison, but the Magnet Storm comes through as well. Hostile Takeover doesn't connect onto the Rise, and so they just take out the Sejuani. And B&K just continuing to find value everywhere on the map. 3,000 gold. The love tap's down.
Faker.
Smashes. Yeah, Faker could be in trouble here, as we've seen.
No impale.
This Skarner gets some work done. It's going to slow him down first, but there's the Rune Prison actually, as Raptor looking to try and drive this one through, and he just gets out. They'll grab themselves the arrow at the same time as Doran was on a flank. It's just kind of irrelevant. As Clear here towards the bottom side, kind of feeling like something is up. He's going to spot Doran for the moment as Ona looking to come in. They get into the mist alongside the Gwen, but Clear realizing he has to get out. That's a great hammer boot, but it's not quite going to be enough. Now committing to the fight as the ulti comes out from Keria, and that spells the end of Clear. Permafrost as well is going to mean that Kellen is in the wrong place as well. And Faker, he's also just going back. He knows that T1 have won this one.
This was
Vikla just split pushing.
Just a great call from T1, and a nice setup there from Owner, knowing that the target has been Doran, and that's the next turret they can take out there in the bottom lane if they get the pick onto him. Instead, it ends up being the gank to come through from Owner. It will be in exchange for a Herald and a little bit of damage there by Vikla onto the top inner turret, then just teleports down to the bottom lane, can continue to push and threaten the turret they wanted in the first place. But this should be mid going down unless...
Yep, that is a handshake being employed, but Raptor is just going to ride Shelly and shows her where to go, and she is going to be able to take down the turret as Raptor tries to do it again, and then Shelly is going to die.
So they should still be able to get this turret here in the bottom lane. Getting that kill onto Clear was pretty massive, and it kept their turret alive for a little bit, but it didn't come without cost, right? The Herald being taken in counter means that they lose the mid turret, top turret gets damaged, bottom turret goes down anyways. There's still a Gwen-shaped, maybe a scissor-shaped hole here on the map for T1.
Not to mention the fact that Smash is pretty far behind as well on that bottom side. The only T1 gold lead for a little while there.
I mean, okay, Faker here maybe caught.
Yeah, Ona going to come in. Just throws the ulti away, was expecting a Duke, and Clear just didn't do it. Still, he's going to die.
Okay, a second time. I actually thought that it was, in fact, Raptor was in the bush. As Kellen's here.
Is it over? As the teleport out from Faker is going to get him to safety, and Ona doesn't have teleport. And so he is instead just going to die. It's going to take a little while because he's pretty tanky, but it is a 1-for-1 trade in the end. What this does, though, is provide space for Doran to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, he is still significantly behind, but this will help a little bit. You know, T1, again, they're a very resilient team. They have pulled bigger wins out of their hat than what it'll take for this one in the past. It just feels like B&K is not the same team that threw that lead against Genji and LCK Cup. You know, this is a team that really has worked a lot on how to play from ahead.
Yeah, this team has really evolved, and it's really impressive to watch. They're going to be able to deny the soul point as well. That was something that they weren't able to do last time, and now looking to continue this as they move into the inner turret on the bottom side. Raptor playing defense. They'll let the outer turret on the top side fall down, but that is the second turret from T1 to be taken so far this game. That is still a definite trade up here by B&K.
And Vikla can just come and stop Faker from doing anything else, catch those minions, take the fight on their terms. Vikla can ult in even though he doesn't have TP.
Oh man, there is no vision here. Hawkshot does give away that B&K are down here, but look at all of this vision. Look at all of this control that they have. And the immediate turn as Raptor is going to get his hand shaken. There's the Magnet Storm, though. The bullet time to come in as well. As the two-man impale delivers Ona and Doran, but they're pretty tanky. Ona's burning down. The bailout not even required here to keep him alive as Vikla trying to get out, and he kills Smash and survives. Vikla, how the heck did that happen? As now T1 are all limping away from this battle. In fact, the health bars everywhere are so low, and Clear isn't going to pick the right turn.
They were successful at that. Maybe he can get more.
Yeah, this is a play towards the top side as Faker is going to be, Clear is going to be discovered by Ona and Faker. He is going to buy some time, though, as Raptor is in the area. So Clear just gonna go north, and that will keep him alive.
That was so scary with Owner and Smash's ults coming up.
A good old face check here as another Q goes wide. Let's see who's gonna win this battle as Doran's running with scissors and Vikler is missing Qs. He does have the Seraphs, and that Q he lands. Still, arrow point blank is gonna be able to do it, as it was in fact a rocket from FAKER that locks it down. Got to work out which projectile is killing the Rise here. As now Raptor finding yet another angle, but there is the Arctic Assault to stop the Lawnmower from running over Bristle.
Okay, this is a wild and crazy game suddenly.
Oh, God.
The Smash, does both of these objectives come up at the same time, and T1 still didn't get any prio back. They still didn't get any deep vision.
Oh, handshake going to come through, but that is the two-man impale. This time the bullet time is going to work as Smash was shooting him, but it doesn't actually do anything. Owner goes down, Faker's dead as well, and BNK, they can take both of the objectives if they'd like.
This time they get the value target on the Impale. This time the combo hits FAKER, and he is obliterated right as the Dragon is up. So B&K can turn this into Dragon. Southside Otacon here next to the Dragon is going to be taken. T1 can't cross the Baron. They lost two members. He got FAKER on 80 carry here as well. He's got his LDR. Oh, no.
Raptor comes in. Little Miss Piggy going to be delivered here as Diablo looking for an angle. Hostile takeover doesn't connect onto the Misfortune, and the bailout is going to be there. Bullet time was more in celebration, but I do like the fact that MF does a whole lot of laughing while it's happening.
That's all you need, and that's how you play it slow. It's how you play around vision, and B&K find the enemy jungler. There's no smite fight here.
Nope. Still, Carrier moving into a aggressive position. The double up still doing work here as Smash down to 50%. Shock Blasts raining in as Doran at full health, but I just don't know whether they're going to be able to help out here. 4 versus 5 is the advantage.
Got the angle here with a flash.
Yep, Doran's in the mist right now. He does have the bailout, and Smash is already so close to dead. Going golden is Doran surviving for a moment, but Faker going to get knocked into the wall as Raptor is going to push him out of the fight. There's Carrier going down. Doran follows and Smashes on the wrong side of the map. The Baron is taken, and B&K, they are not losing 2 games in a row against T1 here today.
Not going to happen. Kellen takes the kill, but I think it's at least to layer that damage in and close the gap here. FAKER as well, trying over the wall. The Realm Warp here is pretty short, but it's pretty clean as well. FAKER just has to exit.
Kind of insane as well, the fact that Diablo and Vikler just like going together point blank into the enemy team, but they were so far ahead that it didn't even matter. To the Sky's going to get interrupted here, but I don't think Clear is too worried about it. Vikler now versus 3, but he's just running away. Phase Rush pretty powerful, and B&K will be able to take this inhibitor, but they're looking for even more. Doran doesn't have the needlework anymore, no more arrow, but there is Glacial Prison as well as the hostile takeover.
Yeah, they can just move their attention up here to the top side. Clear's setting up the wave here. They can threaten double inhibitor. Everyone being alive on T1 means there's not an end angle here unless T1 make a mistake. Kellen on a nice angle.
Yeah, every button is up here for B&K though as far as these ultimates. That's Magnet Storm, Impale, Bullet Time. This is so dangerous for T1. Still, they have to try something. Glacial Prison going to be picked up by Diablo, and Smash almost dies from 2 ticks of the bullet time.
And Vikla is escorting this mid wave in. So, I mean, there's super minions with Baron buff coming into the T1 base. Second inhibitor is going to go down. They can just siege this if they want to. There's a ping going into the bottom lane, though. Vikla is looking for the 3rd inhibitor now with the last minute of this Baron buff. And if T1 make a mistake, they just lose the game. Such a critical defense they need to have here.
Yep, 10,000 gold is the lead. Smash taken to half health. These shock blasts are so scary. As Diablo moves over, he's going to get to work on the last remaining inhibitor, and T1, nothing they can do to answer it. They're being pulled all around the rift. It's kind of beautifully played by B&K as far as their siege on the T1 base as the handshake comes in. Hostile takeover connects onto only the Skarner as Vikla going to be taken down. And now B&K with the entire base in shambles of T1 are just going to back away. They can do all 5 grouped up here on T1 as Diablo with the Make It Rain actually able to hold them at bay quite nicely, and he is not afraid of anything. Maybe the arrow is going to sail by, does absolutely nothing here. The Shock Blast does not do absolutely nothing. In fact, it just hits both carries.
The second time's the charm here on this inhibitor. Now they're all gone.
Yeah. And Clear still has his shield. Glacial Prison is just going to split the difference. in B&K, and now Kerry, it's his turn to throw out the handshake. FAKER half health from a few ticks of the bullet time. And they are just trying to poke them out underneath this turret. The double up, my God, he's hitting so many of those Qs. The hostile takeover does nothing. Doran trying to take down Raptor, but the Magna Storm is so good. And the layering of the Impale. Doran goes golden, but this time, the Zhonya's is doing absolutely nothing. The Nexus turrets are going to be taken down. The Nexus exposed, and once again, no team in the LCK for 2025 so far will take down